One of my favorite things to do as a reaction channel is to basically just make the same videos and reactions, the same, concept over and over again. How many people are we going to farm regarding the Tibet drama? But hey, we got AniNews' take on the Tibet situation. Let's get it.
So, yeah, we got new seasons confirmed for Frieren, Tensura, Oshinoko, and Elusive Samurai, but what I want to talk about first is that
There's so much just Shotacon content on Twitter, bro. Like, they whore out this kid way harder than any other girl in anime.
What I want to talk about first is this. It was last weekend over at New York Comic Con that it was announced that the highly popular webcomic The Beginning After the End would be getting its own anime.
I wonder what the audience's reactions were to that. If they didn't hear what studio and direction is, director is doing it, I bet they would have been like, oh my god, it's coming, peak. But as soon as they and the studio is, and they're like, oh, maybe people start to leave.
That's right. What is undoubtedly one of the most popular webcomics ever created is finally getting animated and brought to life for us. In fact, on the site Tapas, where The Beginning After the End is published, it currently sits at over 36 million views total.
Damn!
That's absolutely massive when compared to Solo Leveling, which is only at 23 million. Now,
really sets things, it really puts things into comparison, huh? Like, Solo Leveling is supposed to be one of the most, viewed, read content. 23 mil on this platform, 36.4 on this platform. Now, it's Tapas. This isn't like the official Webtoon site or other stuff. And another fun lore, dude, Tibet is not Korean content. It may seem like it because of where it was being produced, but it's not a Korean person doing this. I had a lot of random trivia stuff from the other Tibet videos where YouTube comment section people are telling me.
Absolutely massive when compared to Solo Leveling, which is only at 23 million. Now, obviously that doesn't take into account other sources too, but with a reported 150 million views total worldwide, that's certainly no small number to scoff at.
Yeah, and you would think that you would want to give the show like this the resources required to make the perfect adaptation so that people can make as much money as possible by delivering such a good product. Rather than min-maxing and putting the least amount of resources to get a quick cash grab, probably the smart thing to do will be give love and attention and care to this, right?
So, what is it that makes The Beginning After the End so popular then? Well, whether it's the skillful blend of traditional isekai, power fantasy, and conflict-filled adventure, the emotional character-driven narrative somewhat similar to Mushoku Tensei, or the high-quality webcomic depicting all that with amazing art, The Beginning After the End has quite a bit going for it. I'm not usually one to compare Mushoku Tensei to just any series, but with the author himself saying he drew quite a bit of inspiration from it, it doesn't take very long to see why.
Oh my god, guys! 2 kids reading a book on their stomach. They're both crossing their ass. It's the same fucking show.
It's mostly in the beginning and the way it turns into a coming-of-age story though, so everything after is very much its own. You don't need to worry about a Rudy-type character either, since where Rudy is hindered by the trauma of his past life, Arthur Lewin is instead one of the greatest warriors to ever live.
Thank God.
He was this once noble king whose authority and power was unmatched by anyone. This results in 2 vastly different protagonists, since where Mushoku Tensei focuses on Rudy, his flaws, and his slow progressive character growth, The Beginning After the End presents Arthur as the opposite.
I wonder if that's why there's such heated debate, in conflict between these 2 series, right? Like, why can't we just enjoy everything? But if everyone is just trying to self-insert them as the main character, and for all the fucking reasons that people love Rudy for, like Arthur is like this Giga Chat, and like the losers that relate to Rudy for all the shitty things cannot see themselves as Arthur, and therefore they get mad at the show. That's my headcanon.
He capitalizes on his former knowledge and exceptional experience, then uses them the best way he can to protect those he cares about. They both strive to live their new lives to the fullest, but Rudy does so in order to not waste his life a second time, while Arthur does so in order to maintain the relationships he never had in his past life. So, The Beginning After the End may be a bit more cliché when it comes to the themes it presents to us, but the way it does so is very much enjoyable.
That's right, clichés doesn't mean bad, it's about the execution of those clichés that matter.
It wouldn't be as popular as it is if it wasn't. Why then is there a big cautionary but in the title?
Jesus! Well, it's because the studio and the director that's covering it, it's looking like the show has been given a very mediocre amount of investment, and it's sad to see.
Well, while you would think this amazing story has all the ingredients to make an even better anime, at the end of the day, it can only be as good as the studio making it. Unfortunately for us, that studio doesn't really have the greatest track record.
Wah, wah.
It's coming from the people behind Studio ACAT, who, if you don't recognize, it's probably because they've only made really mid anime.
It's literally just mid on mid on mid on mid. The most recent anime that we've watched from them is actually this anime here. This is the Strongest Mage. It's like a dude that's in the Demon Lord style, but he's secretly a human and he wants to do good. The concept is good, and we checked it out, and you know what? It was alright, but I felt it was so lackluster and mid that we just dropped it.
There's Battle in 5 Seconds After Meeting, 2022's She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man, the girls' baseball anime Tamayomi, then a bunch
Girls'
of
baseball?
other okay fantasies I've mentioned in my seasonal roundups before. Now, it's not impossible for Studio ACAT to whip up something amazing, but given these examples and the trailer
Not
which
looking
wasn't
good.
anything spectacular, I don't think we're in store for a Solo Leveling or Tower of God Season 1.
Don't worry, because Tower God Season 2 didn't even get Tower God Season 1.
It's not the worst trailer since there is actual animation in it, but there wasn't anything particularly mind-blowing either.
Yeah, the trailer was pretty lackluster. There was some brief sword fighting, which was just 6 or 7 out of 10 animation style that you could see anywhere, and you'd forget. And then the aircraft bombing, that was just looking like sloppy CGI. I don't know, it's looking kind of bad.
For me, this trailer just gave off the same vibe as all the other mediocre fantasy trailers.
Yeah.
Animation and aesthetic aside though, the actual staff is somewhat of a different story.
Really?
Reason being that, with Turtle-Me himself being brought on as an executive producer, that
Really? Okay, so the author is actually getting involved with this project. One of the things that I was like kind of going schizo conspiracy theory like in the previous debate video was saying, why is there this pattern of behavior other than like Solo Leveling and Tower God Season 1 where existing projects from the Korean side just does not get the adaptation it deserves, right? God of High School. There was even another show called The Return of Magic Should Be Special. It seems to be just all forgotten. And I was like, is Japan just not recognizing Korean content due to some sort of, I don't know, geopolitical rivalry? I don't know. But then someone else in the comment section, and who knows how true this is, apparently a lot of fault lies within the Korean side, where the distributors, there's some like people that's like decision making that, you know, manages which studios are going to, like how it's going to get adapted, and there's some corporate greed and people just kind of cheaping out on the Korean side that's actually hindering these Korean projects to get the adaptation that it deserves. Who really knows? But if the author himself is getting directly involved, it's a good signal.
That means he as the creator will have a direct influence over how his series takes shape. He unfortunately doesn't have final say like how he usually does, but he has gone on record to say he's working to strike a balance between what he wants and what the producers want.
What he wants is freedom, right? We want One Punch Man Season 1. We want a studio to go out of the way to create a dream team like with story and deliver art. But what the producers want is, nah. Can we like slash that budget by 90% and try to make it as just passable as possible? Just make it good enough to, you know, watch and people will forget.
Something that's accessible to those coming to the series for the first time, while also doing justice to the rich world that is the beginning after the end. This means plenty of Easter eggs to reward longtime readers, along with a strong base season to carry forward multiple more. Apparently, getting renewed is the top priority for them.
Okay.
Other staff include the director of Data Live, Katana Gatari and School Days,
What did you just say?
of Data Live, Katana
My favorite show is Data Live. Yeah, forget the E, put the A there. Data Live, bro. What is this pronunciation, Eddie? This ain't even Japanese. Data Live?
Other staff include the director of Data Live, Katana Gatari and School Days.
These two shows are actually really good. Data Live I've actually seen. And I think that like the director involved in like the season 1 to 3 content, I enjoyed that shit. Now, Geek Toys taking over, I didn't like the CGI bullshit. Katana Gatari I hear is an amazing show as well. I haven't seen it. And School Days, it's quite notorious for just, I don't know exactly what happens, but I hear near the end, just like, shit hits the fan.
Series composition by the same person responsible for Absolute Duo, Character
Who?
design led by the talent behind Fate Grand Order and Black Clover, then
That's pretty decent, right? Black Clover looks pretty good. Fate, I'm not too sure, but the art here looks okay.
OSTs by the same person who gave us the Danmachi soundtrack.
Perfect. I'm good. Let's fucking go.
So, even if the animation turns out to be a flop, at the very least we should be able to expect everything else to be okay.
No,
Well,
just okay.
At least that's what I'm hoping. In any case, the anime will start sometime in 2025, first bringing us a 12-episode Season 1, then
Alright.
another 12-episode Season 2 right after.
So it's already season 1 and 2 is confirmed. This almost sounds like 2 core, basically 24 episode season. But all right, we have 24 episodes locked in already, and their goal is to go for a renewal after that.
It'll be 24 straight episodes for 6 straight months.
Not even a break. Just back to back, okay? All right?
Now, whether it succeeds like Solo Leveling or fails like Tower of God Season 2, ultimately depends on everyone's reception to it. Luckily, it has a massive fan base already backing it, but as we saw with Tower of God, that's unfortunately not enough to sustain its popularity.
Yeah.
If the anime's bad, then people won't watch it.
Yep.
And it would be an absolute shame for a series as good as this not to succeed, especially with how passionate Turtle Me is.
I have some faith now that because the director himself is getting involved, and also, who the fuck told me that this is not by a Korean person? This is a literal Korean person, but I guess it's all about is he from Korea? Maybe he lives in America. I'm not really sure what that fucking comment was all about. But if the the author himself is directly, involved with the whole producement, the whole producing of the show, that's good signals.
But yeah, that's a quick overview of the beginning after the end and something to hopefully look forward to next year.
Okay.
There's plenty more to look forward to as well, including the recently announced sequels like Frieren and Tensura.
Another show that I'm really excited for is Magic Hat Atelier. That Giguk video sold me, bro. Holy shit, it looks hype.
We all knew Frieren was inevitable, but only last month did they finally confirm it. It came alongside a small teaser and brand new illustration. That and confirmation Madhouse will be returning to animate it.
That's rare, huh? Madhouse is the king of do one season amazing and then just never continue, and someone else might pick it up and it's just ass.
So, though we don't have a release date or any other information, I think it's okay to assume Season 2 will be just as good as the first. It still sits comfortably as the #1 anime.
Yo! Full Metal Alchemist is third now? One Piece fan letter made it on. That's how good, dude. I hear you. I hear that the episode is amazing. I've seen clips of it on Twitter. The brief moments I've seen looked stunning. But damn, bro, it's crazy. It's second place. God damn.
On Mal, and the overall perception of it hasn't changed since the day it started. I myself still need to finish it, but that's something that we can talk about later. Or you can just
You haven't even finished Freedom? What the fuck?
roast me in my chat on stream on Sundays.
Okay.
Now, Tensura surprisingly confirmed its next season immediately.
Please, God, please don't let it be 8-Bit Studios. Please, anyone. But I gotta be careful with my words. What if someone else picks it up? It's even fucking worse.
Which, if you've made it past Season 3 and all its meetings, I promise it'll be worth it in Season 4.
Promise, guys. I promise. All the meetings, it's all set up. Season 4 is the real payoff. Please, please. So many people have dropped slime on the YouTube reaction space. It's so sad, but it is what it is. But hey, I'm still around.
Yes, there was a lot of world building and politicking, but it's that proper establishment of the landscape which makes the conflicts all the more enjoyable. Season 3 aside, alongside Season 4 was the announcement of a second movie. One that will more than likely be another anime original.
Hype?
It potentially pertains to the person in Rimuru's right eye here, since the identity of this character isn't really known by anyone.
Completely random character. I can't just guess Primordial off of this.
That said, it'll be interesting to see how they make it relate to the core events of the main plot.
Okay.
The Scarlet Bonds movie wasn't too bad, so if it's
Scarlet Bond was... It was a pretty decent movie. I'm not gonna say it was the best movie ever. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It was enjoyable. Bro, the end stuff with Hiro and Toa. Oh man, the roller coaster of the Bates happening. Oh my fucking god. Spoiler. Happy ending.
something akin to that, then I'll probably end up watching it in theaters anyway. No release date has been given yet, but if I had to guess based on the spacing of the announcement and release of previous seasons, we're more than likely gonna have to wait a year and a half.
Ooh.
Season 3 came out 3 years after Season 2, but the announcement itself was only 1.5 years ago. So, based on that, I'm thinking that that's the bare minimum, especially when they have to work on a movie too.
Maybe this is a bad news. Because if a movie... Blue Lock example. Nagi movie season 2. The more, like again, right? You're kind of getting the hang of like good signals, bad signals. If a studio is trying to double up and getting a movie and a new season renewed, like, who's working on it? Do you have enough resources and time? Can you actually fucking do justice on both? Fingers crossed.
Now, it wasn't just those two who got confirmed sequels.
Wistoria.
Wistoria Wand and Sword also made an immediate announcement
Let's
too.
go.
This was my favorite anime of last season, so
Fair. I think Wistoria was so beautiful, so fun. Simple story, cliches. I loved it.
as long as the staff stays the same and the quality remains consistent, I'll be more than happy to keep keeping up with this.
But will it?
The other two sequels are Oshinoko and Elusive Samurai, so while both did just finish
Elusive Samurai's getting another one? That's pretty hype. But Oshinoko season 3, baby. Let's get it.
sharing only last month, it's nice to see such high quality anime getting immediate renewals.
It's like Oshinoko is like, I think, a perfect example of the studio loves it. The source material is godlike and it's getting the love it deserves, right? But like in this like era of so many amazing series getting ruined because of corporate greed and the production committee is taking too much, right? And the animators not being able to keep up. Doga Kobo and their, adaptations of Oshinoko has been just, it's so refreshing. It gives me hope. It gives me genuine hope that like there's still good studios like this. There's still good people out there willing to make art, to give something that deserves the love it needs, rather than just like cheap cash grab, like Blue Lock or Tower of God Season 2.
High quality anime getting immediate renewals like that. Oshinoko was definitely expected, but Elusive Samurai I assumed would take a while.
The Japanese Twitter people, they love to show us, so yeah, let's go Elusive Samurai.
Now that both are on the way though, it's two more high quality anime to look forward to. Oshinoko already confirmed it's the same studio and staff as the previous seasons, while for Elusive Samurai we're still waiting. Either way, I can't imagine it's gonna be anyone other than the talented team over at Cloverworks. Lastly, I want to talk about Solo Leveling. We're actually only 2 months away from Season 2.
That's crazy, man. Dude, it feels like it was just yesterday when I started to like stream like seriously on Twitch in January, and Solo Leveling was like, the hype day of the week where everyone would tune in, and Season 2 is already happening. Time goes by so quick.
One, if you're going to watch the movie. Just like how Demon Slayer does with their seasons,
right.
Aniplex said they
November early preview.
Want some of that money too, and have put together a feature-length film recapping Season 1 and showcasing Season 2.
Okay.
It's apparently a condensed version of Season 1 followed by the first 2 episodes of Season 2.
Hype.
That'll be in theaters overseas starting December 6th, so if you really can't wait until January, then go ahead and watch the Reawakening film first.
Should I just take you guys to the movie theaters? Should I? No, that's beyond illegal. You can't just do that. Plus, like, you can't commentate in the theater. Maybe I can set up my little iPhone like a stand. You might be able to get like a shitty like a like a 180p 144p fucking resolution, just cam quality. And then I'm like trying to commentate, and other people are like, shut the fuck up.
The new arc looks to be just as good as the first, so it honestly might be worth it to watch some of this high quality action on the big screen.
Okay.
Either way, I think we're in for a nice long run with Solo Leveling as a whole.
Yes, sir.
Something I hope can eventually be done for the beginning after the end.
Or it's already the end before the beginning.
But yeah, that's some anime updates that I wanted to share with you.
Cool.
Let me know down below which ones you're most looking forward to.
Thank you so much, AniNews. I am actually very excited for Debate. Not because of... Well, basically, I just want to find out for myself, how good is it actually going to be, right? And then we'll go on from there. Oshinoko is just fucking so peak. Oshinoko is so peak. With Storia, we'll have to see if they have the, all-star roster that they have for Bandai Namco, but didn't like the directors or some say that a team like this cannot be easily, like united again. And Tensura, I'm worried. The movie may sound like good news to you, but if the same studio is working on a movie and a new season back to back in a limited amount of time frame, right? It's just look at Blue Lock, bro. Just 8-bit studios. They're literally doing Blue Lock. They've already made the Nage movie so trash, I hear. And the season 2 is just please just somebody else fucking take it from them, or please just fucking stop taking so many projects that you can't even deliver on and send so many shit anime. It's just like, why is Tensura being treated like this? Why? To bait Tensura is looking so sad. Why can't every anime be like Oshinoko? Why can't every anime get the love it deserves? Because there's always a conflict of interest when it comes to money and art, but it is what it is. Please go give Mr. AniNews a like on the video. Here is the link, and I'll see you guys next time.